Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Sanchez Miller. He is a content creator. He has worked with 700 plus brands within a year and a half. He is also a video persona coach. Welcome to the show, Sanchez.
Thanks. That was a crazy intro. I feel like I was about to start a boxing match. So.
Right. Living in these times of content creation is almost like a boxing match, and you got to win it not only for yourself but also for the client. So, welcome once again to the show, Sanchez. Welcome to India in this online form, and I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from your experience, your understanding of content. And so we'll be talking about the future of content creation with you. With so much of experience, you can certainly help. So I want to understand from you, in these times of artificial intelligence into content creation, I want to understand for the audience, Sanchez, is it the best of times for being into content creation, or is it the worst of times to be into as a content creator?
It's for sure the best time. I think before AI came out, it was still the best time, but it's even better. I think it's more easy compared to how things were in the past, like maybe 2 to 3 years. Now just creating content for your personal brand or for your business or just to have fun is so much easier with all the editing apps that they have. There's even apps that allow you to, you can record yourself and then type in whatever you want to say. And AI will just create like your own little avatar that looks like you. It's crazy when you see it, but yeah, pretty much to answer your question, the best time is now to get into AI, 100%.
Okay. If it's the best of times, this particular technology, artificial intelligence, all the benefits associated with it are also available for companies, individuals. So, how, as a content creator, professional content creator, full-time content creator that you are, why would anyone need the services of a full-time creator, content creator from outside? Anyone can spend much less money and hire a person or within the organization and just get that work done. How to differentiate yourself as a content creator when you are doing that professionally for someone else?
You're asking, how do I differentiate myself from other creators?
Yes, so that you get work from brands, from companies. You have worked with 700 plus brands in a year and a half. How can one do that? Because brands will say, why to spend so much of money? I can keep some junior person within the company, and he or she can create the same content through the use of artificial intelligence. That is what content creators are also using. So how do you differentiate in these times?
Right. So with that, I think a big thing is that a lot of people, when they try to get on camera, they're a bit nervous. And you have to bring a lot of energy and make sure whatever it is that you're talking about on camera, whether, let's say, a brand wants to work with me and they have a product or a service, one way that I differentiate myself from others is to talk about how that product or that service solves the problem of that customer. So I think a lot of people, when they try to do content creation, they focus on things such as the benefits. How can this product or service benefit your customer? Where instead you should talk about how it solves the customer's problem, something that hurts them, some pain that they're dealing with. I think that's a big thing to start. And then also creativity. AI, the thing that separates content creators from AI is that AI isn't at a level yet to where it can be creative, but it's a very, very special tool to help your creativity and take it to the next level.
Right, Sanchez. How have you been able to work with 700 plus brands in 18 months time around? How is that? When do you create content and when do you market yourself? How do you market yourself? That this insight will certainly help a lot of full-time creators who are always struggling for lead generation, get customers for themselves.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people actually ask me this question. So starting as a content creator, especially if you have no experience, it's very difficult because you have nothing to make content about, right? So I found a lot of services in the United States, and they have some of these services they're offered across the world too. But I found a platform called Billo. That's Billo. Currently, it's only in America though, but I'm sure that there's other services like it in other countries. But pretty much Billo is a platform where they market to businesses and you sign up on that platform as a creator. So basically, I signed up on that platform and Billo did all the marketing for me. And that helped me build up my portfolio as a content creator. So then what I did was I took all the content that I had on Billo and I started making my own YouTube videos and posting them on Instagram and TikTok. And then I got my own clients from there, right? And I found other platforms. There's another one called Incense, and they service other countries around the world, not just the United States. That's INSENSE. So they're very similar to Billo, but a little bit better in my opinion. And pretty much I use those platforms to build up my portfolio to show brands, hey, I'm great on camera. I can talk about your product and help you get more sales and, get people interested in whatever it is that you have to offer. So that's pretty much how I built up my portfolio and got a lot of other brands interested in me.
Right, right, Sanchez. In terms of talking about video, you are a video persona coach. Help us understand what is this video persona coach all about. Do I have to have a different persona in front of video? Do I have a different persona outside video? People talk about authenticity in your videos also. So how do you calibrate both the things? Help us understand, what do you teach as a video persona coach, and who are the people who are learning from you, and what are they learning from you?
Right. So, as a video persona coach, what I do is I help people who want to sell their stuff on the internet. And in order to do that, you have to make content for the internet. A lot of businesses, they want to market on TikTok and TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media platform, YouTube, they want to market on these platforms. But most brands will typically, like, they'll hire an agency, a film agency, or they will just run like a picture ad or something like that. But what I do is I teach people, business owners primarily, and hustlers. So people who just kind of hustle whatever service that they have. I teach those people how to tell stories on the internet and then lead those stories or lead their content back into helping them sell their products to the people who are watching their content. So I kind of go in and like help people. Let's say one of the things that I see a lot of people struggle with is they don't really know that when you're on camera, you kind of have to beef up your energy a little bit more. Because if you like for example, if I talk how I regularly talk in real life, hold on, let me calm down a little bit. So I pretty much kind of just talk like this most of the time when I'm talking to people, but I have to kind of give a little bit more energy when I'm talking on camera because it connects more with the viewer rather than talking at my normal state. So it's just like little bitty tips like that and helping people with their hand gestures and their facial expressions and all sorts of stuff. So I just pretty much teach people how to be on camera, how to express their ideas, and help them inspire people and sell their stuff on the internet.
Right, right. In terms of creating business opportunities, a lot of people are looking at creating content. Is content creation only for content creators? How do businesses utilize it best? Can they do it in house? Do they have to hire people from outside? How does this work in today's time? Many a times, the budget is also an issue. So I want to understand in terms of how people as a content creator and how businesses who want to hire content creators come on a common ground, so that there is work for everyone and there is much more a good outsourcing that happens. How do you define your payment in terms of how should a creator work in terms of payment wise? How do they define what is the good price for them?
Okay. I think you asked me a lot of questions there. I'm gonna try to get it all answered. Let me know if I forgot to answer something. I think the first thing you talked about was how do businesses create content versus content creators, correct? Okay. So with that, I think one thing that I've seen a lot of businesses struggle with, especially the ones that I've worked with, is that they really focus on creating paid ad videos. Like everybody wants to run ads and make money off of those ads. But you'll run into an issue where even if you do sell a lot of the stuff you're running ads on, a lot of the people they want to be invested in the brand. They want to know what the brand is about, where it came from, the story behind it. Like that's the stuff that connects with people, that keeps them coming back, that makes them proud to support whatever it is that you have to offer. So I think the thing that brands need to do, well, it's actually the same as content creators, to be honest, but the main thing is just creating organic content rather than just paid ads. The organic content part of it is basically telling the stories about how your brand came to be, how your product or service solves somebody's problems, and just telling the stories about or entertaining. You have to create content that keeps people coming back to watch you. You're almost like, I think businesses need to think about becoming their own like media channel, like kind of like if you watch the news or there's like a media platform on television. I think brands should start thinking about how to become a personality like that. And the person who can do that, I think we're going to your next question now. The people who can do that, it doesn't matter. It's whoever's good on camera or whoever wants to be on camera. That could be the owner of the company. That could be the cashier. That could be the assistant. That could be the intern that just came in, or you could hire somebody off of the street, your cousin, your brother, and they can come in and, support and talk about the business on the internet. It's just really all about creating that content and creating content for the people. Give them all the free content that they can use to solve their problems. And then if they want to solve it even better, that's when they can pay you or buy your service or product. People just want to be helped and watch some stuff, and they'll support you. As far as payments, every creator is different. I would say it's probably based off of experience. Creators who've had a lot of experience with a lot of brands more than likely charge more. And then also there's different systems. Like you might have a creator who hires you for one video, or who you hire for one video, or you might have another creator who you'll hire for 6 months. So the prices will definitely vary. You could get a video from a creator for probably about as low as $25 a video US, and as high as $1,000. So I've seen, I'm sure there's probably more people who charge more than $1,000 for, the type of content that I make with your cell phone. But I think I got all your questions. I hope
Yes,
that is.
yes, yes. You have answered. In terms of monetization, now, if you are not working, say, for brands,
Mhm.
and as a content creator, you want to create for good content, how do you monetize? What are the best ways to monetize? Or is it the regular methods of waiting for sponsorships, waiting for brand tie-ups? Or are there other ways that people are not able to see where they can actually, make money as a full-time content creator?
Yeah, there's several ways. The best way is pretty much what I just went over, is creating organic content and then selling whatever it is that you have to offer to the people watching you. That is by far, it's the hardest way, but it is the best way and the most fulfilling in the long term, is building that brand and selling your products or services. The next way is also partnering with other creators or other businesses and doing affiliate deals with those companies or businesses or other creators. So let's say that you're a content creator or you're a business and you have another business and all of you guys are making content, but your company wants to shout out the other business's product because you like it so much. Maybe it helped your business, right? And you can take an affiliate commission off of whatever sales that you get. So that's another way that you could do it. And then the final way, what am I missing? Oh, the final way that you mentioned is getting paid off of like the social media platforms like AdSense. That's what most people probably go for. It's kind of a ripoff. Obviously, you can make some good money, but it's like, I look at it like this. Like, let's say that you have your sales percentages, for your company. Let's say you have a product that converts at, let's go a low number, like 2%. It converts at 2%, right? If you get 1 million views, or let's just say 100,000 views, and 100,000 views from social media might pay you, I don't know, like $20. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's pretty bad. So if you have an offer that converts at 2%, now let's say, and it's your target audience, let's say you have 100,000 views of your target audience and you have an offer that converts at 2%, you know, that 2% is going to be way higher than the $20 that, you know, you got paid from the social media platforms. So that's why I say the organic content and then having your own system where you can plug in your own products pays you a lot more and it's a lot better in the long term.
Absolutely, absolutely, Sanchez. In terms of user generated content, how do you look at that? Is it again? Is it good times yet to come, or its time is gone? Because there is a whole shift that is going on. People are getting fatigued by creating. You know, if you create content for say for any other company or any other way, how does that work out? Do you still see that is a future of user generated content, but and getting paid for that? How does that work out? How can one make the best use, either as an individual or either as a brand? How do you make the best of USG, UJC?
Yeah, there's a variety of ways. I mean, a user generated content creator is essentially, it's like an actor. It's like you're paying some actor to come and support or represent your business. And I think that's been around for the longest time. I don't see that going away anytime in the future, even with AI. I think that people who maybe don't use AI, maybe they might be at a disadvantage. But I definitely think that that's still going to be around for the long run, just because that authenticity that we were talking about earlier, being able to connect with actual real humans, is very valuable. And people want to see other people's experiences with your product or your service. So, in that regard, I would say for sure, like, yeah, it's going to be around for a while. And then I'm forgetting your other question. Could you remind me?
Yeah, forget that. Then let's come to then artificial, you know, AI influencers. A lot of companies nowadays are, because they don't want to uh, get into, you know, hiring people from outside, or want to get into that whole thing, whether for good or for bad reasons, they are creating their own artificial intelligence influencers. And many of these influencers, AI influencers for the brands, they have a considerable following. So they say, why not build an influencer within the organization that will stay with them and will not demand any money from them? How do you look at this particular part of artificial intelligence for the future of content generation?
And you're referencing the brands creating an AI avatar to be their content
Yes,
creator?
yes, yes, many of them.
Hmm. You know, I think from what I've seen with AI, I think that it's not quite there yet, but in the future, it could definitely be something where, you know, it would be very useful. But it's really tough to say because I don't know how the public is going to react to that. You know, the public might actually start to resonate with these AI characters because sometimes they feel like real people, you know? So it's like, it's too early to really tell if it's going to be a problem or not. But from what I've seen so far, it looks like it's going to be a very valuable thing, I would guess. And I don't think people will be able to tell the difference. So I wonder that's a good question. I wonder what that looks like, you know, if there's a way for real life content creators and even AI content creators to work together, or does that make real life content creators useless? Hmm. Yeah, I'll think about that some more.
Yeah, yeah. As you're right, it's very difficult to differentiate some of these uh, models or AI influencers that they have created. Uh, they are quite, you know, fascinating, you can say, interesting, you can say, you know. And that is where my next question comes in, you know, Sanchez, is that a lot of people in today's time, they are looking at, you know, this whole shift of moving from entertainment creator entertainers from creator educators. That's where the whole shift is being talked about, you know, and that people are coming to learn something and not only less for information or entertainment. How do you look at this shift? how can creators be who are full-time creators or looking at earning their livelihood from content creation look at this particular thing? How can they be prepared for this part of the content creation future?
I didn't quite get your question there.
Yeah, a lot of people earlier on were more towards creating content that was entertaining, a
Mhm.
bit more informative. Nowadays, there is this whole talk about, that people who are your followers would want to get educated by content creators and not coming to you only for pure entertainment. So that whole shift is moving towards learning something, learning skills, learning something else, which is going to help them in real life, getting educated from content creators rather than just looking at, getting entertained.
Mhm.
That whole shift is being talked about, and that is where a lot of uh, reports have also come in, and that looks like to be what a lot of people are focusing on. That even YouTube seem to be focusing on that, creator educators.
Mhm. Okay, and you're asking like what my opinion is on that?
Yeah, how do you see, how can people get ready for this sort of a shift, if at all this whatever they are talking about is right, that there
Okay.
will be less entertainment content and more of educational content?
Right. Yeah. So with the education stuff, it's kind of like what I mentioned earlier. I think the biggest thing is, and entertainment is still a big thing to tackle. I don't think that's ever going away. But if we're talking about education, it's always about how can you solve a person's problem, right? I,
Right.
I like to. One of my mentors, he gave me this analogy a long time ago. I kind of switched it to make it my own. But you have to think of it like this, if you're walking down a street and a man walks up to you and he goes, "Hey, like I have $10,000 at the top of this building. I just want to give it to you. It'll change your life." I think most people will be a little bit sketchy about that. They probably wouldn't be like, "Oh yeah, I want to go upstairs with some random guy and get $10,000," even though it would change their life. But that same man could walk up to you after you've been stabbed and say, "Oh man, like you're stabbed, you're bleeding out. My car's right here. You want me to drive you to the hospital?" And in that case, you would be like, "Yes, yeah, take me to the hospital. I'm bleeding out." you know. And the difference between those two situations is that one situation you're completely fine, you're not worried about anything, and the other situation you're in extreme pain and you want it to get fixed. You don't care who helps you, you just want it to get fixed. So when you're creating content, I think the smartest thing to do is to figure out the pain that people are dealing with. Like what it is, if you're trying to educate them on something. Obviously, maybe all your content won't do that, but I think you should really make a big push for trying to solve people's problems that they're dealing with. And the more that you can do that, the more people will come and watch your content and then be grateful for the information that you gave to them, and be able to help them. And that's honestly what helps people buy your stuff more. They'll share with their friends and family. And yeah, so that's the best way that I think that people should do it.
Right, right. There is much to understand about content, and content creation, and especially going forward, this whole industry is changing. So, for people who would want to learn more from you, more about you, and get associated with you as your client, what is the best way for them to connect with you, Sanchez?
For sure. It's probably on Instagram, which is cheddar, like the cheese, and then underscore Chez, which is Chez, and then one more underscore after that. So cheddar underscore Chez underscore. That's my Instagram. You guys can always send me a DM and ask me any questions about content. I'm always there to help. And I'm pretty much cheddar Chez on most of the other platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, even. So yeah, reach out if you guys need any help or have any questions.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
For sure. Thanks, KJ.